Today, we're going to talk about the mindset of an average person versus the mindset of the top 1%. We'll compare these two mindsets and see how simply fixing the things you're doing wrong can teach you to think like top performers, and over time, how it can help you reach the top 1%. In a way, everyone's mindset determines the direction of their life. If you look at life, it's just like a video game. To clear each level, you have to keep changing your strategies, perspectives, and habits. In short, you have to evolve. And this video has shown up in your feed for this very reason, because the universe wants you to evolve. So don't share this video with anyone. Quietly grab your pen and paper, start taking notes, and let's begin comparing the average mindset versus the top 1%. Point number 1, dealing with new opportunities. Whenever a new opportunity comes along, like a job offer or a chance at a new business venture, an average person thinks, should I do this? Do I even have the time? How will this work? I don't have enough time right now. A lot of self-doubt and fear of failure hold them back because they've never taken risks in life. That's why their comfort zone is the first thing that comes to their mind. They plan their entire life around it. For example, I live in California and the job I got is in New York. The package is good, the company is great, but how will I leave my family and friends? Forget it, I'll look for something else. This is the mindset of an average person. On the other hand, the top 1% of people, when they see an opportunity, take immediate action. Their mindset is something like, this is an opportunity to learn something new. Even if it fails, I'll learn and do better next time. These top performers never shy away from new challenges. Their focus is never on winning or losing. It's always on growth. And anyway, winning or losing isn't in your control, but the thrill, the experience, and the growth you get from running the race will take you far in life. So the point here is, average people just think and overthink, but the top 1% ignore their fears and don't hesitate to take risks. The thing is, action is everything. If you don't take risks, you won't grow. Which brings me to my point number 2, handling financial stress. Whenever financial stress arises, like unexpected expenses, bills, or increasing needs, an average person tends to panic. Where will this money come from? How will I manage this? They panic, make risky decisions, or completely avoid the situation. On the other hand, the top 1% of people take a solution-oriented approach when financial stress comes their way. They say, okay, this is the problem. How do I manage it now? They think about cutting unnecessary expenses and making better investments. Take any CEO or someone in a managing position. They always track their finances, create budgets, and plan for long-term goals. Even if they're short on money or experiencing a financial crunch, they strategize ways to gradually build their wealth. Let me explain this with a simple example. Just because my friend owns an expensive car doesn't mean I need to have one too. Just because you can buy a car on EMI doesn't mean you should, or that you should start demanding it from your family. Remember one thing in life: if you're spending money just to show off your prestige or power to others, that's the biggest mistake you can make. People are so busy with their own lives that they won't even care. Sure, it might grab their attention for a day or two, but that's it. After that, they won't even think about it. So stop using your money for these things and start making smarter, more calculated financial decisions. Which brings me to my next point. Point number 3, spending versus investing. An average person spends most of their income. As soon as the monthly salary arrives, they spend it on their immediate needs and wants. What are these immediate needs and wants? Shopping, eating out, gadgets, luxuries. For them, spending is exciting. They get some kind of thrill from spending money. It's probably the dopamine release after splurging. And when you ask them why they're spending so much, they'll say, I want to enjoy life. You only live once. So if not now, when? With this small mindset, they ignore their future and fail to build wealth. On the other hand, the top 1% of people invest most of their income. They know that to create wealth, they can't just indulge in short-term pleasures. Instead, they invest their money in assets that can grow in the long term. They invest before they spend. They put money into stocks, real estate, businesses, and other avenues that appreciate over time. Their mindset is clear. Building future wealth is far more important than current spending. Here's an example to explain this. Every year you spend dollars on buying the latest smartphone. But have you ever thought about it this way? By the time the new version is out next year, your phone's value will already drop. That's the rule of the market. So instead of spending money on a new phone every year, why not buy a decent phone, use it for 4 to 5 years, and invest the money you save in stocks? At least the value of that investment will appreciate over time. Another great example is Warren Buffett, one of the richest people in the world. Did you know that despite being one of the wealthiest people, he spent 25 years of his life living in a small house? Why? Was it because he couldn't afford a bigger house, a fancy car, or the latest gadgets? Of course not. At one point, his net worth was 14,000 Carwar dollars, a number so big it would take you 2 minutes just to count the zeros. Buffett's philosophy was simple: live below your means and invest wisely. The average person focuses too much on immediate needs, while the top 1% understand that spending is temporary, but investing creates future wealth. And wealth doesn't just mean how much money you make. It's about how much you invest and how long it grows. Remember when cryptocurrency first entered the market? Many people doubted it, thinking it was just a bubble. But today, the situation has completely changed. Crypto has established itself, and people who once saw it as a speculative asset now view it as a serious investment option. Take Bitcoin as an example. When it first launched, its price was just 30 cents. Yes, the same Bitcoin that's worth $90,000 today. Now tell me honestly, didn't you have $1 back in 2009? Of course you did. Maybe even more than that. But at that time, you didn't have the financial knowledge to know where to invest it. If you had taken a small risk back then, your life could have been completely different today. When the market was new, people thought it was just a bubble, but those who invested early made a lot of money. Which brings me to point number 4, time management. An average person always abuses time. Their attitude is, I'll start tomorrow, I'll see later. Spending 2 to 3 hours daily on social media, watching TV, or just chilling becomes a part of their routine. But on the other hand, the top 1% schedule their day. For them, time is everything. Their goal is to maximize every single day so they can achieve their long-term goals. Now, this doesn't mean the top 1% aren't active on social media. They are, but in an intentional way. They use it either to learn something or to de-stress themselves. If you want to truly understand the value of your time, calculate the worth of every hour. For example, let's assume you have the potential to earn $10 lakh a month. Whether you're earning that or not right now, just assume you have that potential. A month has 30 days, and each day has 24 hours. That's a total of 720 hours. Now, if you divide 10 lakh by 720 hours, you'll find that every hour of yours is worth approximately $1,400. If on any given day you waste 5 hours, it means you've lost approximately $7,000 on that day. Now tell me, knowing this, would you still waste 5 hours daily? Probably not. Here, I've used $10 lakh as an example. It could be that you have the potential to earn 1 crore, 5 crores, or even 10 crores a month. But these small distractions are keeping you from unlocking that potential. So my point here is, an average person thinks they have plenty of time and ends up wasting it. Whereas the top 1% understand that time is non-refundable. Time is probably the most valuable asset you have. Point number 5, facing failure. When failure strikes, an average person often connects it with their identity. They think, I'm not capable of doing this, and spiral into self-doubt. They begin making excuses, and the fear of failure forces them to stop trying. On the other hand, the top 1% view failure as a temporary setback. Their mindset is, what can I learn from this failure, and how can I perform better next time? For them, failure is just a stepping stone to success. If they fail, they analyze it, adjust their strategies, and overcome it. So my point is, never let failure define your identity. Don't say to yourself, I can't do this. This isn't meant for me. My luck is terrible. These thoughts are nothing but excuses. By doing this, you're just comforting yourself and eventually comparing yourself to someone less successful than you. At least, I'm better than them. But listen, if you really want to compare, do it with someone far ahead of you. Think about things beyond your current reach. If the thought of those heights doesn't make your hands tremble and push you to work harder, then you can call me wrong. With that, let's move on to our next point. Point number 6, building long-term goals. Point number 6, building long-term goals. Setting long-term goals is a big challenge for an average person. Why? Because the initial excitement fades away over time. As soon as they realize that the results aren't immediate, their motivation starts to dwindle. They think, let it go, I'm not seeing any results. I'll try again later. And it doesn't stop there. Every time a new target comes their way, they jump into it with excitement. But the moment they realize it will require time and effort, their interest fades again. Forget it, let's do something else. This is taking too much time. This thought process becomes a repetitive cycle in their life, and that's why they never achieve their big goals. They start seeking instant gratification They want results right now. But here's the truth. For meaningful achievements in life, patience and consistent effort are essential. If you only chase short-term goals, you'll never achieve your long-term dreams. Imagine if they just waited a little longer, put in extra effort, and stayed consistent even after their initial excitement faded. The dreams they once visualized could eventually become their reality. The fact is, long-term goals are only achieved with discipline and commitment. You can't work for a day and then take 4 days off. It doesn't work like that. Learn from the top 1%. They create clear, actionable plans for their lives. They break big goals into smaller milestones and work towards them daily. Results will take time, but with consistent effort, you'll surely achieve them. Remember, success is a marathon, not a sprint. Which brings me to point number 7, building relationships. Point number 7, building relationships. In relationships, the average person's perspective is very transactional. They see everything like a deal, thinking, how can this relationship benefit me? They only invest their time and energy when there's something to gain, believing that if they're not getting anything from someone, there's no point in continuing. This means they balance every connection based on their own convenience. Once they get what they want, or once the benefit is gone, their interest in that relationship fades. For an average person, this transactional approach in relationships creates no space for genuine growth or deeper connections. Look, relationships have ups and downs, and they only become strong when people are genuinely present for each other without selfish expectations. A strong relationship is built on the what can I give attitude, not the what can I get attitude. When you connect with someone with full loyalty, support, and care, you create a huge positive impact on both your lives. An average person often fails to realize that any relationship is an investment, and this investment won't give you immediate returns. But when you put in time and effort without selfish intentions, that relationship will turn into a strong support system for you, helping you stand tall in difficult times ahead. On the other hand, the top 1% approach to relationships is unique and powerful. They see relationships as a value exchange. For them, it's not just about transactions. They understand that to grow in life, you must first offer value. Whether they're working with business partners, friends, or clients, they focus on long-term growth and building trust in every interaction. Their mindset is very clear. First, I serve. Then, the returns will naturally follow. They understand that seeking short-term gains from relationships is a very small mindset. They give advice, support, or simply listen to others without expectation. And this approach benefits them in the long run. When you offer value first, people start to see you as a valuable partner, friend, or advisor. This simple approach helps you build trust and goodwill in both your professional and personal circles, which becomes the secret foundation for any high achiever's success. So, always focus on building long-term relationships. Moving on to the next point. Point number 8, dealing with stress. Point number 8, dealing with stress. Whenever stress comes in life, the average person tries to avoid everything. They run toward comfort things like binge watching, overeating, or losing themselves on social media. They just want to run away from their existing problems and stress, not even wanting to think about them. On the other hand, the top 1% has a different approach to tackling stress. They see stress as a part of their growth. They counter stress with meditation, exercise, or problem solving, evolving themselves through it. So, the point here is, while the average person dodges stress, the top 1% controls it and makes it a tool for growth. Always remember, stress is the fuel for success, only if you know how to handle it. Conclusion: the top 1% doesn't rely on any special talent or luck. The difference is in their mindset. They are always focused on growth, investment, and long-term goals, while the average person is usually busy surviving in their day-to-day life. If you understand this, you'll realize that taking responsibility is the biggest step. The average person never takes responsibility for their mistakes. They always blame others or circumstances. But the top 1% sees every failure as a learning opportunity. For them, making mistakes is not a bad thing. They learn from it and grow through it. So, learn to accept your mistakes. Only then will you be able to improve them. Your task for today: in the comments, write down one thing that you feel is wrong with you or a bad habit you have. Then, simply ask yourself one question: how can I change this? One step at a time. Remember, you won't get anything by waiting. No one will come and build an empire for you, or money won't fall from the sky. In life, everything has to be built by you, and everything will depend on your decisions. So, without wasting any time, start now. Change your mindset and align it with your decisions. Thanks for watching.